whenever you Zoom, we're going to kind of give you a quick little tutorial. So hop in, there's a little chat bar. You guys can ask questions as we go through our time here together today. But if you guys, we're just going to have everybody that's hosting introduce themselves, and then you're going to see some other ladies hop on as well. So guys, you guys want to go ahead and introduce yourselves?
Sure. Hi, everyone. I am Katie Ersta. I'm in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and I have been coaching for 7 years. So, yeah.
Farron. I'm Farron. I'm from Baltimore, Maryland. I've been coaching for over 3 years. Super excited to be here.
Hi guys, I'm Alyssa. I've been coaching for 6.5 years, and I can't wait to share with you guys today.
Hey guys, my name is Melanie Mitro, and I've been a coach for 8 years, and I'm super pumped that you guys gave us an hour of your time to get on today. And there is Megan. Megan, do you want to just say your name? And actually, you are our first speaker, so I'm just going to turn it over to you. Can we hear you? We can't hear you.
Hey.
I don't know. Maybe log back out and log back in and see if it works. But we're gonna have Katie go. How about you? You want to kick it off?
Sure, I can do that for you. So first of all, thank you guys so much for taking time out of your afternoon to be on this call. And I'm not exactly sure what brought you here. Maybe over the past few days you've been watching one of the women on this call presenting who's been away at leadership retreat, or maybe you've been following the person who invited you here for quite some time, and you're finally just curious. You're curious about what it's all about. You're curious if you too can create an income doing this. You're curious how people go from being stay-at-home moms, full-time teachers, to actually creating this as a source of revenue for their family. And so I have to share that when I started as a coach, I had no intention of building a significant income. My goal at the time as a teacher was, number one, to be accountable to my weight loss goals. I had burned a copy of Insanity into my, I don't know, it was like DVD. I'd burned a copy of it. So I didn't even legally get the copy of Insanity. And I was doing this program on my own. So my first goal as a coach was really to continue to see results with that program. And the second was huge for me. It was a big goal. And that was to just get the groceries paid for. And I kind of want to take you back to 2012 when social media was a little bit different. And when I started, I had seen somebody that I went to college with actually posting on social media. She was getting into a car with, it was like 4 other women, and they were on their way to Philadelphia, which is about a 5-hour drive from Pittsburgh. And it was the weekend, it was a Friday, and all of them looked so excited. They were in this car and they were on their way to an event that was taking place, where at this event they would be doing live workouts, and they would be hearing about all the newest releases and programs that were going to be coming their way. And I thought 2 things. I thought, number one, who in the heck actually just leaves for a weekend to go on a girls' trip and do these live workouts? Like, who does that? That's so weird. And then my second thought was like, that sounds fun. Like, that sounds fun. And just to kind of paint the entire picture, I was sitting at home with my red pen because I was grading term papers, more term papers than I can even recall. And I was just wondering how people actually got paid to be doing something that they loved. And I want to share that I did enjoy my job. I loved it, but my job was also really stressful. And my job was starting to change. Curriculum was changing, content, Common Core was coming into play, and everything was sort of shifting. And the reason I went into education was starting to evolve too. And I wasn't getting paid that much money as a teacher. And I remember on one occasion, after I'd seen that post, going into the grocery store, and I was crossing my fingers because it wasn't yet payday. And I just remember thinking, oh God, I don't want to have to charge this to my credit card. I just want to be able to get my freaking groceries and not have to charge my credit card. And I walked in, and the guy looked at me and he said, insufficient funds. And I think in all of our lives, we have these moments where we hear something and we know that there is a better way. We just in our gut know that something's got to give. And I felt that. And I left that grocery store and I said, there has got to be more to life than just getting by. And that's all. I didn't start off with these big goals of creating a 6 or 7 figure income that I have now. I started truly because I hated the feeling of being a slave to an Excel sheet. I hated the feeling of being overweight. I hated the feeling of coming home and not knowing if there was going to be enough in our bank account so that we didn't have to charge things on the weekend. It was a crappy feeling. And so when I started coaching, it truly was the big goal of getting the groceries paid for. Here's the deal, and I'm going to tell you this now. There's going to be a lot of information as new coaches that you're going to hear about the income opportunity. You're going to hear about cycle bonuses. You're going to hear about how to create a large following. You're going to hear all of the things, but I want to keep it super simple today and tell you that the most important thing that you can do is be coachable. Be coachable. Every single one of these women who started here didn't start with a massive following. Every single one of us came in with coachability. We were able to listen to our uplines, and just so we're clear on this, you have the best of the best. And I'm not saying that to brag or to boast or to say, look at us, but to say, if you want to create a 6 or 7 figure income, every single one of these women in here can mentor you to do just that. And if you're coachable, you're going to be able to do it. So although this call isn't going to give you the ins and the outs and the nitty gritty of what we do and how we earn, we will give you those things. But the first thing you need to say is, number one, is there more to life than just getting by? Number 2, are you craving something more in your life, whether it's relationships, a healthier mindset, more physical fitness in your life? Are you looking to work with other women who actually are very good about uplifting each other? Or are you looking at these trips going like, how did you just get a trip paid for to go to Arizona, Scottsdale, Fairmont, which was insane? If you want to know those things, that's what you have to ask yourself. Am I coachable? Am I willing to commit? Am I willing to work hard? And do I believe that something like this is worth it for me? So that's kind of my thought, Megan. I'm not sure if it's working for you yet, but if it is, if you want to go ahead and share your story.
Can you hear me? Okay. You know, I actually put it on my phone too, but just in case, but I can leave that one. We're good now. Okay. Hi guys. Thank you for dealing with my technical difficulties. So you don't need to have any certain special skills to be able to do this. I promise you, but miss the intros at the beginning. My name is Megan. I have been coaching now for 5.5 years, which seems crazy to even say out loud because I certainly didn't set out to join this and build some crazy business. I really just set out to find myself again. Prior to becoming a coach, I was an audit manager. So I started college with this desire to pick a major that was going to make me the most money. And that sounds awful, but I grew up with next to nothing, and I started college and said, I'm going to pick a major that's going to pay me well. I didn't know what auditing really meant, but I knew that like accounting and finance and fancy business suits looked good, and it sounded good, and it sounded respectable. So figured it out. I picked accounting, I added in finance, and I graduated in 4 years with a double major at the top of my class. Went on to get a highly regarded career at a Big 4 accounting firm in downtown Pittsburgh and did what everyone thought I should do, and I got my CPA license. And one could argue I was following an amazing career path, and I was. I met every accolade. I got every promotion that I could have got. But what happened was when I became a mom, this drive to be this successful businesswoman that I set out to do all of my life, it fizzled. And I set out on maternity leave. And for every day after my first baby, someone would say to me, are you ready to go back to work yet? And I was like, no, not yet, but that day is going to come. I know that I'm going to get there. And 12 weeks went by, and I went back to work, and that desire never came. And for the next 18 months, I came home from a drowning 12, 14, 16-hour day in tears. And I can still remember the day when we were pregnant with our second baby, and I was going to get in the shower and I lost it. And my husband's like, just quit. And I was like, I can't. Like, I was the breadwinner of the family. There was no way that I could leave that career behind. And as the days got closer to the arrival of our second baby and my anxiety of having to leave him again to have somebody else raise him, that all got outweighed by having to have this successful career and this high paying job, and I left it all behind. And after our second baby, we decided that we would become a single family income and I would be a mom. And I thought that was it. I thought, oh my gosh, like this is it, dream come true. Like now I'm a mom. But the problem was I barely mommed my daughter for her first 2 years of life. See, I say it out loud and then I cry. But I was barely a mom to her. So I sat there with a newborn and a 2-year-old, and I was so lost. And I was losing everything that I thought I was working for. And I was like, oh, I'm home. I should be happy. Like, I'm a stay-at-home mom. But we had no money. I would float like our mortgage check to our electric check. And I'd be like, honey, you have to pay yourself early this month because we're not going to make the bills. And that was an awful feeling. So I had a really good job with a lot of money, and I lost being a mom. Now I had being a mom, and I didn't have any money. So I needed to find something that was going to get me back to feeling myself. Now, I was no stranger to Beachbody. My husband and I bought P90X before our wedding. He did about half of it. I did one workout on repeat and never got anywhere. And then he bought Insanity on DVD when I was pregnant with our second, which, you know, when you're growing a belly and he's trying to like get in super shape, that didn't work well either. He quit. We never did anything with that. So I knew what Beachbody was, but I had never actually done it. We had 2 DVDs collecting dust. But what I didn't know was this part, was the whole team aspect, was this whole idea that there was this group of women cheering on other women out there. And I had no idea that ever existed. So when I got introduced to this opportunity, it wasn't the business at first. It was a desire to get back to feeling like myself. I joined a challenge group. I still remember typing in my goals in that challenge group, and I felt bad because some of these women had these huge goals. Mine was 3 pounds because I was 3 pounds away from my pre-baby weight, and that's all I wanted to lose was 3 pounds. And I did it. On day 16 of the 21-day fix, I reached my 3-pound weight loss goal. I told my coach who tried to give me all these ins and outs of coaching. I went back to her and I was like, I want to be a coach for the discount. I need this discount so I can continue this because we can't afford it otherwise. But she told me one thing that stuck with me. You can get 3 people every month. You'll cover the cost of your Shakeology. I was like, okay, 3 people. That was something I could handle. So I signed up as a coach, and less than 2 weeks later, I had started hitting these Success Club things and getting this recognition. I was like, I don't know what this is, but as a mom, nobody was patting me on the back for sharing these things, for meeting these little goals, and I craved more. I saw Melanie and Alyssa and Katie, who had all been coaching a couple years before me, and I saw what they did. And it took me watching them, and I spun my attitude from good for them to why not me? Because you can hear all these stories, and I hope that as you go through these, you're able to see yourself in a little piece of each of them. And I saw them all as incredible, inspiring women, but I never saw myself as competition with them. They inspired me to take what they did and just go do it myself. And it's been 5.5 years. We've led an incredible team. We've continued to rise above, and I know that it all started with that mindset. So I want to encourage you guys to hear this, keep an open mind, but then ask yourself, why can't I do that too? Alyssa, are you up?
Hi, I don't know if I'm up, but I can be up. Hi guys, my name's Alyssa Shoemaker. How are you? So a little bit about my story. Gosh, I was just thinking about this the other day. So I started my business almost 7 years ago in January. I had a life event that had happened. I was working as a registered nurse. I loved working as a nurse until I lost my grandfather in the healthcare system. My grandpa developed CHF. Long story short, he ended up falling out of bed, became septic, and he died unexpectedly. And it brought me to this place in my life as a nurse where I've been many times feeling like I couldn't care for the people that I really wanted to care for. And that's why I became a nurse, because I really wanted to make a difference in people's lives. And I just got to this point where nursing was changing and I didn't feel like I was making a difference. And then my grandfather's death kind of compounded that. And then I had my third child, and I did not want to go and care for other people and put my kids in daycare and have somebody else come and take care of my children. And so I saw my coach online one day. She had actually asked me to be in one of her boot camps at one time. I had just was losing the baby weight after my third baby, Charlotte. And I told her no, I didn't want to be in a boot camp. I'm very driven as far as fitness goes. I was a bikini competitor when I got started as a coach. So I didn't really want to be in a boot camp, but I continued to follow her along on social media. I thought she was really motivating and inspiring. And one day I saw that she was going to go to this event. And at this event, they were going to have live workouts. And there was this super trainer that was being flown in from LA, and he was going to lead this workout, and he looked buff and the workout looked hard, and I wanted to do the workout. And so I messaged her and I said, hey, I think I'm going to come and do that workout, and I kind of want to check out and see what this coaching thing is all about, because I really didn't know what the coaching thing was. I knew that she ran online boot camps. I thought her posts were really motivational. She was really inspiring and motivating. I knew she stayed home with her kids, but beyond that, I really had no idea what she did. And so I went to this event. I got my butt handed to me by this trainer. And then I sat there and I was listening to a coach opportunity, kind of a little bit like this, but there was this cruise ship that went across the stage. And I learned, like Megan was talking about, that if I was helping 3 people a month, I could earn this trip. And I was a new mom that had not gone anywhere in a long time. And I like to travel. Like, I have like a travel soul. Like, I gotta go. And so I had felt like I was like in this prison. Now, I'm gonna just be honest with you guys. I needed a trip. I needed a vacation. And I learned that I could earn that vacation for 2 for me and my husband. And that's why I signed up. I was like, I'm going to do this. I'm going to become a coach. I'm going to help other people. I like fitness. And if I can earn like free travel and trips, I'm in. So I signed up exclusively for the business. I had done Insanity in the past. I loved Insanity. I had never tried Shakeology, but I was a fitness lover and I wanted to make some extra money. Obviously, I told you guys my story about being a burned out nurse. My goal in the beginning was to earn this trip and to replace 1 shift a week as a nurse, because that meant that was 1 extra day that I could be home with my babies. And then I got into this incredible community and I saw these women staying home with their kids, like paying off debt, being super happy and engaged, and using personal development to change their lives and to change other people's lives. And I just thought, like, man, like, they're doing this. They're staying home with their kids. Like, I can do this too. And I never really, like, ever thought that I would leave nursing. Like, I feel like I was, like, born to be a healer, guys. So I never really thought about leaving nursing. But 9 months into my business, I got to this point where I didn't want to go to work anymore. Like, I wanted to just stay home with my business. Like, being a nurse was interfering with my business building. And so I told my husband, I'm like, I don't want to be a nurse anymore. I want to stay home with the kids, and I want to really put all my energy in on building this business. And my husband said to me, Alyssa, I'm going to give you 6 months. Let's see what you can accomplish in the next 6 months. And if you can, get your business up off the ground and really get it going and you have that time with your kids, great. And if not, then, go back to work and pick up some extra shifts as a nurse. And as a nurse, that's a super easy, flexible thing for me able to do, especially with my experience. And so that's what I did. We became an elite team our first year in the company, and I never went back as a nurse. And that has been my driving why since I got started. I just want to be home with my kids. I want to travel. I want to see the world, and I want to help heal and make a difference in people's lives in a different way. And that's what coaching has done for me. It's provided me with a purpose. And I just literally got chills like down my body, because what we do is so special, to be able to be involved in people's lives and, help them with the blocks that they have and support them and, really see their entire family change. It's so beautiful. So that's kind of my story. I want to quickly touch base with you guys on social media because I did not have a following. I had 100 friends on Facebook. In fact, before I got started, I did a clean out. I'm sure you guys have done that before, where you go in and, you know, you get rid of everybody you haven't talked to in a bazillion years. So that was me. So I started as a coach and I knew no one besides the moms in my neighborhood and some nurses that I knew. And so I had 100 friends on Facebook. But you guys, I have helped at least 5 people every single month, most months way more than that, in my business because of my passion and my energy for the work that we do. And so you don't have to have a huge social media following. You just have to get engaged with yourself and start taking care of yourself. And when you start to take care of yourself, you're going to feel so amazing that you're going to just be sharing this with everybody. And we're going to teach you guys how to do that too. So we're going to teach you guys like all the tips on social media, but don't let your experience with social media or not have a following hold you back. If you have a passion and a mission and the energy to want to make changes in your life, you're going to be able to do that and help change others. So that is my little tidbit. I think Kelly is next. So thanks so much for jumping on with us. Bye.
Hi, I'm gonna come in. I'm gonna slip in before Kelly. So my name's Farron, and I want to say that I love hearing everyone's stories. And so while you're listening into this, I've heard these stories about 100 times, and they never get old. Like hearing like women's success is just, it's empowering, it's amazing, and it's like another reminder of like I'm exactly where I need to be. And so if you're following our journeys, like we went on this leadership retreat, we've been on a million retreats, it feels like we're always going. But when I came back, I remember thinking, when I was in college, like my first year of college, someone said like, if you're the smartest person in the room, you're in the wrong room. And I was thinking like I was not the smartest person in this room. Like when I hang out with these ladies, like there's always something that I learn. And I feel like if you look around and you're constantly being inspired by people around you, then you know that you're in the right place. So I was thinking that when they're all talking, because it's just, you know, that like this all started from me being on a call like this, you know, over 3 years ago. So part of my story is, and what I love to touch on is I loved fitness. I wanted to be healthy, but I was also overweight. So I have 2 kids, and after the second, I fell into really bad postpartum depression. I didn't really know postpartum depression was a real thing until I was in it. It was so bad that I was crying and I didn't know what to do. And I really think like I didn't have the friends like to kind of pull me out of it. And so I turned to fitness. I turned to P90X and home workouts, because if you're a depressed mom, you're not going to the gym. Like, why would I go? Like, I would not step foot in a gym. Like, I had to be home where no one could see my body, and I had to do this on my own. But as I started to do this and started to love myself and started to realize like fitness and health is a huge factor in just being a better wife, being a better mom, being a better person, just being happy in general. I started to see little things on Facebook. And so maybe you're following someone here because you saw them on Facebook. Maybe you don't know who we are, but something, like you're listening to this because something inspired you. Seeing something like that's one of us said spoke to you. And I remember seeing my coach, and she posted about being home with her kids. And I was like, that looks really cool. So I kept stalking her. So this might be you too. You might have been stalking us. Like, I never liked one of her posts. I didn't do anything. I just stalked her from like the sidelines. And then it wasn't until she posted about a retreat, and they're on the beach, and it's all these girls, and they're all dressed in like, I was probably teal, like one of my favorite colors. Like this is like the theme of my life now. And so, and it was talking about being that girl, and, about living your best life, and, going on these retreats, and all these girls talking about like making money while they were, while they're at the beach. And just like Katie said, like you look at these girls and you're like, how is this even possible? And then, you make that switch. And like when, Megan said, like, the why not me, when you make that switch to like, why not me? And I saw that one post, and I was like, I have to give this a shot. I can't live my whole life wondering, what if I could be on that beach with these girls? Like, I have to do this. And so I messaged my coach right away and I was like, I'm in. So, you know, I feel like I can relate. We can all kind of relate to each other. And like Alyssa saying, she didn't have the followers. I had nothing. And so I didn't have, my Facebook was blocked. I didn't have an Instagram. I didn't know the first thing about social media. I just saw a passion and I saw fire in these girls' eyes. And I was like, if you can, you know, especially as a mom and a new mom of two, to find that there's more purpose to your life, you know, then it sounds maybe bad, like, but, you know, for me, it was like, I need more of a purpose than just being, you know, Jeff's wife and just being Peyton Sawyer's mom. Like, it's great. I want to be those things. But when I, you know, one day, like when I'm not here, I want people to talk about me more than just being the wife and the mom. I need more out of my life. And seeing these girls do that, I was like, I need to be there. And, you know, and for a mom or any woman, like going on a free vacation, and like that you're like, oh, this is my job. Like that was the best feeling in the world. So that's why I joined in. You know, and it was just, you know, and, you know, I say like I didn't have the followers. And so if maybe that's something that makes you nervous, you're like, crap, I don't have the followers. And you see us because, you know, we have this success and you're like, how do I do that? And I remember thinking those things, you know, but just like we said, the training that you are coming in to the best of the best, and you have the training and you don't have to reinvent the wheel. We literally hand it like, this is what we do. This is what we did to be successful. We've done it. We've been through it. And so we can teach you exactly how to do the same thing. And, you know, like one of the quotes that always sticks with me is someone said, it's Maya Angelou was saying, I don't know, I can't think of it right off the top of my head because now I'm getting all nervous, but it's about, you know, we always look at the butterfly, but we never look at what it takes to get there. And so like, that's like, yes, we're all of these amazing butterflies that just flew back from Arizona, but like, we've been through it all. We're going to show you how to do it and create you into your own little butterfly. So if you're here, the thing that I can tell you most is, if you're here and you're listening to this right now, there's a reason. There's something in your gut that's like, I want to do this, because you wouldn't be on here at 12 o'clock in the afternoon here, like listening to a bunch of girls that you don't know if you didn't, like your gut feeling that this, maybe you were made for this. And if you don't take that chance and say, let me see what I am made of, let me see what this is about. I want to be in Arizona with them. I want to be on vacations. I at least want the opportunity. Like, you have to do those things. You can absolutely do this. So that's my story. That's how I got here. And I am going to turn it over to Kelly, who's going to tell you, like, look, she's even at work. It's so awesome. You get to see all sides of this amazing opportunity.
All right. Can you guys hear me okay? Yeah. Okay. Awesome. Well, for those of you guys who don't know, I'm Kelly Guy. I am a registered veterinary nurse, and so I'm actually here at work. I'm sitting over in the CT room right now because I don't have any cases right now. And I wanted to be sure to pop on because this is so important for you guys to hear just all different aspects of why it can work for different people. So I'm from Indiana. I'm married. I have 2 kiddos, ages 5 and 2, and I got my start into the whole world of coaching, joining first as a challenger. So I joined to lose a little bit of weight after I had my first daughter whenever she was born, when I was still on maternity leave. Thought I would join in for a little bit and then peace out. And I fell in love with the community so much. But even though I had that love for the community, I was very curious about coaching, but I still couldn't bring myself to say yes for a whole year. And now I'm kicking myself for it, but I had a lot of fears, like you may have too. And so that's what I hope today is for you guys, is just kind of putting some peace of mind that, you know, just like Farron said, if you're here and you're tuning in, there's a tug on your heart for a reason. So listen to it, get curious, ask your coach questions, and see what it can do for you. So today I wanted to just chat with you a little bit about building this business no matter what it looks like for you. So, you know, I went from having Kinsley as a tiny infant and working full-time to then going through pregnancy with my son Graham, who's now 2, going back to work full-time, and now it's brought me home part-time to my baby. So I am still here 4 hours a day, but what coaching has done for me, you know, aside from keeping me accountable and giving me the amazing community and the perks that you've heard about, like, it's brought me home to my babies part-time and one day full-time too. But it's cool to be able to work it into both areas of my life. But you have to have a strong why, because it is going to be hard work, but it's work that's really worth it. And it's work that I'm so passionate about. And so for me, you know, it changes with the season. So when I started, it was getting up, and doing a little bit of work, 15 minutes here and there before I nursed my kiddos and headed off to work. It was giving up my lunch hour with friends to go sit at the computer and do some coaching because that was more important to me. And it was doing it a little bit at night too. Of course, as the kids grow, things change, and so I've had to adapt. And so I think that that's a big tip of mine is, if you're going to be really busy like the rest of us and fitting this in, communicate with your significant other or your spouse. Let them know why it's important to you, and they should support you if it's making you happier and healthier. Set business hours, and always keep that end vision in mind. So for me, it was not having to drive away from my babies because I would cry every morning, leaving in the dark, going to work. It broke my heart. And so yes, I still come to work, but I get my mornings and I get my evenings with them now, and I can still make this fit in. And so it's been every bit of work that I've put in, and I'm so thankful for this opportunity. Who's next?
I think it's me. Thank you, guys. I have just been sitting here listening to everybody talk, and it's so cool to hear how all of us were strangers on social media. The only person I do know is Katie because we went to college together, but that just goes to show you that the people that even are on your social media right now, the people that you talk to, like there is this entire world out there of people that are craving friendship, that are craving a different kind of career, a different business. There are people that are in very high ranking corporate positions. If you look at Megan, that their job, even though they get paid great money, it drains them. It makes them feel unfulfilled, and they would much rather be home with their kids or doing something that gives them the ability to travel. And as I was listening to this, like I would have never known, if I knew Megan, I would have never known that she maybe wasn't fulfilled by her job. You know, on the outside, sometimes people are really good at portraying that everything is great, but inside people are screaming for something totally different. And this business opportunity really fell into my lap as well. So in 2011, I was sitting at home and I was eating celery and trying to lose weight. And I was struggling so bad to find out who I was as a mom after having 2 babies. I have always defined myself by the clothes that I wear and feeling put together and putting my makeup on and just feeling confident in my own skin. And that's just something that like I have more energy and I want to go out and socialize when I feel good. And I wasn't feeling good. I was still wearing maternity clothes 9 months after having Bryce. And I had gone from working full time to being a stay-at-home mom. So my role was very different. I was adjusting to that. And I was sort of struggling through that role of being a stay-at-home mom, and add the fact that I didn't feel good in my own skin, and I just was really lost. So I made a Facebook post, which is very uncharacteristic to me because I was not somebody that really posted on social media, but I posted about eating celery and trying to lose weight, and my coach reached out to me and invited me to join a challenge group. So what did I do? I did probably what most of you did when one of us reached out to you, is you went over to their social media, maybe their Instagram, their Facebook, and you were like, who is this person that is inviting me? And you creeped on us, right? And so you didn't say anything right away, but you were trying to figure out if we were legit real people. And that's exactly what I did. I went through my coach's page. I saw her physical transformation. I saw her smile. I saw that she looked confident and happy. She had 2 kids. She was making all these friends, and she had what I wanted. And so without even really doing very much research at all, I was like, yes, I'm in, sign me up. And I was also that girl that borrowed, like Katie said, I borrowed a copy of Insanity from my neighbor down the street and actually burned it, which is terrible and awful, but that's what I did. And so I did my first Insanity workout in the basement of our townhouse in a tiny little storage room where I just like moved a carpet square in, and that's where I would do my workout. And that program, Sean T, as much as he killed me every day in those workouts, he transformed my life. And the community, the challenge groups, these virtual boot camps that you hear us talking about, it gave me friendship. It gave me education. It taught me how to fuel my body with really good food. Those women in that group, they lifted me up when I didn't want to keep going, when I was having a bad day, when I wanted to quit, when I drank all of the wine and ate all of the pizza on the weekend and woke up on a Monday morning feeling completely frustrated with my choices. They told me it was okay, that I should keep going. And over the course of 60 days, I transformed my body. I had lost over 10 pounds. And anybody that would listen to me, I was like, you have to try clean eating. You have to try these workouts. They actually work. And so after about 6 times of my coach inviting me to join, I actually finally signed up. And I did it against my husband's. He did not give me approval to sign up as a coach. He actually thought that this business was a scam. It was a ripoff, that you couldn't actually make money doing this. And he actually said if I wanted a job, that we could put the kids in daycare and I could go get a real job. And so I took the money that my family gave me for my birthday and I invested in the enrollment process, which really isn't all of that expensive when you look at, if you were to open a brick and mortar business, like the cost, the initial investment is minimal, right? It's less than $200 depending on the package that you choose. But that was my investment. And I treated this like a business from day one. I wanted to get my initial investment paid for. I wanted to help other people. I wanted to run my own accountability group. And I started sharing my journey on social media. And over the course of the past 8 years, I have been able to maintain my weight loss. I've been able to help so many other people reach their health and fitness goals. But I've made real friendships. I feel like this is my home. These are my people. And yes, the financial freedom and the success and the trips and the things that I've been able to accomplish, that we all have been able to do, they're amazing, but nothing replaces just having really great business partners that have your back, that lift you up, that collaborate together and are just rooting for you to win and achieve your goals. And I just don't see that in corporate America. And that's something that my husband says to me all the time, is you just don't see that anywhere else. And so I just really want to talk to you guys. I don't know if you guys have maybe a spouse or a family member that is unsupportive or is questioning why you want to start this Beachbody business. Maybe drop it in the comments below. But that was my husband. And he worked in corporate. He worked for Heinz. He worked in the procurement department. And so all he ever knew was corporate. And that's the way he was brought up. And so I was the first person in both of our families to go out and really start something and call ourselves entrepreneurs. And so this was uncharted territory. And as we all know, when you start a business, it's not instantaneous, like money is falling from the sky, right? You have to invest, you have to build a foundation, you have to build the relationships. And so I was putting in these hours and he was watching me, but I wasn't matching the amount of time I was putting in with money initially. But here's what I did. Every day I would say to Matt, like, oh my gosh, I helped this person lose a few pounds, or, oh my gosh, this person just signed up and, they want to get in shape for their wedding, or this person just had a baby and I'm going to meet them at the grocery store and I'm going to teach them how to meal plan and grocery shop. And slowly but surely he started to see that I was beginning to have success. But he also saw that the spark in his wife's eyes were back. He also saw that this was something that made me happy. And this was something that really brought me joy. And over about 8 months of me just slowly kind of showing him how I was making a difference, and he could start to see that my income was beginning to grow, he really started to get on board with what I was doing. And I think it's super important that you involve your spouse, if possible, in any live events. So I took Matt to our annual conference at Coach Summit, and he got together with some of the other husbands and they started to talk about the business and the possibilities. And he came to the general sessions and heard our CEO speak about the products we were launching and the products and the programs that were coming out. And that was really where he said, okay, this just isn't some virtual online mystical thing. This is actually a real company with real products, and the CEO genuinely cares about creating success for all of the coaches in the network. And that was sort of the pivotal moment, right? That was kind of his like change factor, where he came home. He did T25. He really started to help me out with what I needed. And then this business went from something that just I was doing to something that we were all doing together. So it was a really awesome, just sort of transformation. So if you have an unsupportive spouse, I've been there, I understand that. The best thing you can do is really just show them that you can be successful by doing the work and proving yourself, right? So, okay. So guys, here we are. I really want to open it up for questions. So if you guys have questions, any of us can answer them. We can just all unmute and jump in, but we're kind of to the end of each and every one of us kind of sharing our own story. And I know you guys probably want to know how you get signed up and what the next steps are. So we're going to kind of walk you through that, but let me see if there are any questions there. Oh, there are quite a few people that have that same thing. Husband rolls his eyes. Okay. All right. All right. So next steps. The next thing, guys, we'll answer questions if you want to drop those in the chat bar. But the next step is to reach out to the person that invited you here and let them know that you want to get enrolled. Second thing is we run these mentorship groups where we will work directly with you. So one-on-one in a small group setting, we all are committed to helping you create your vision, set your goals, and help you get started. And we're going to help you with everything from navigating the training to launching on social media, to how to have conversations, to running groups. And even if you say to yourself, I really want to focus on my health and fitness goals first, we will tailor our mentorship to help you wherever you are coming in at. But I think the most important thing that we can all say is, like, you have to take that leap of faith, right? Like you can't overthink it. You can't second guess yourself. I feel like everything any one of us have ever done in life has been sort of jumping in and figuring it out and building our wings on the way down. But you have incredible leaders, incredible success stories, and people that are ready and willing to help you make your dreams a reality. All right. So guys, anybody want to take, you guys, one of you want to unmute, we can just take some questions and we can wrap things up.
Oh, mute. There was one about if your prospects don't use social media. I have a coach who's not big on social media, who does everything via a group text message. So I think the one thing that you can, take is that you get to run your groups however you want. And your goal is to help your clients get results. So if they don't use social media, you can't get them the results through social media. We do have an app called the My Challenge Tracker app that gives us the ability to completely run groups in an app that's outside of Facebook, outside of Instagram, completely off social media. So a lot of people will just use that app, which does, eliminate all the distractions of social media. But again, somebody else, she's been a coach now for 2 years. Everything is just through a text message. That's how she does it. That's how her and her girls communicate. And that's what works for her. So if it's something, it's kind of like if there's a will, there's a way. If there's something that you want to build and your people aren't on social media, then find out what will help them best. And you may have to scale it. If you get to a point, in the beginning, working out one-on-one might work great. And as you get more people, it might be harder to do things one-on-one, and you might need to, look into things like the My Challenge Tracker app or something else to be able to do that. And this is the baby that I came home to 6 years ago.
There's a couple other questions just to address. The startup cost depends on really the kit that you select. Now, I have to preface that one of the things about being a coach is you have to really use the products that you are endorsing. I mean, when you love something, you share it, whether it's a pair of Nikes, a Starbucks drink, or I don't know, like a new headband that you purchased. If somebody says, like, what are you wearing? Like, what is that? You share it. And so what people sometimes forget is that when you become a coach, you are becoming an endorser of the products you are using. One of the greatest gifts about the startup costs with Beachbody is you are using the product that you're investing in. So what you're investing in is usually going to be between 140 and about 220, depending on which kit you would purchase. For me, it is a no-brainer to have what we call Beachbody On Demand, which is our online catalog of workouts that is available. So literally, I think hundreds of workouts that you can stream at your fingertips, no matter what. Whether you take them to the gym with you, you do them in your basement, doesn't matter. We also have our home direct types of products, and that would be your Shakeology. I use it every month. I go every day. I don't miss my drink, and that is my investment in my health. But then we also have other products, which are the performance line, which is our pre-workout or post-workout. There's a great one right now that I'm using for the workout I'm doing that's called the Recharge, which comes in the evening. So there's so many options for you. But the most important thing to know about that is your coach is going to make sure they know what your needs are so that you are selecting the kit that's going to work best for you. And yes, and just to address the senior population, my mom uses workouts in Beachbody On Demand. And whether you are looking for a workout that's really intense, that's going to be more aerobic based, that's going to be more weight based, that's going to be high impact, low impact, the catalog has everything. There's even a workout in the catalog that's geared for kids. And so my kids will often go down to the basement and they've just seen their mom doing the workouts and they do it too. So just to address a couple of those questions that are happening too in the chat bar. Outside of the UK, France launches in 2020. Thank you for covering that. And then may not be forum for this, but what about tax side of business? You are an independent contractor for Beachbody. You are not an employee. I see it, Colton. You are not an employee of Beachbody, so you do have a 1099 that you receive after you make $600 in commissions. I believe that's correct, unless they've changed it in the last year. So, yep. Is there anything else you wanted me to cover? I think I got everything.
I think so too. Are there payment options? You would pay for it upfront. So when you enroll as a coach, your $40 coach sign-up fee is waived. You get the program package that comes with whatever supplements you choose, the performance line or Shakeology. But yes, you would pay that upfront. And then our goal in the first 30 days is for you to make back your initial investment. We'll enroll you into our mentorship program, and we're going to help you work towards getting your first 3 clients, which also gets you commissions, recognition, and some of your first success stories that you can start building as well. So that's super exciting, right? Okay, my friends, I think that's it. I think we covered anything. If there's anything else that you guys want to add, you're more than welcome to unmute and add it. But here's the thing, guys. Now we're going to sort of put the ball in your court, right? And one of the things that as a coach, we always talk about is your why. And I'll close us out with this and your vision. And so, you know, when I first started coaching, and even each one of these ladies, right? So you heard, I want to get the groceries paid for. I need something for me. I need to get back in shape, or I need to be that girl. I want to be surrounded by this positive community and these women, or I need to get out of nursing because it's sucking my soul. And so you heard each and every one of us talk. So I want to ask you guys, what is your driving force for changing your life, for taking that leap of faith and saying, I want something different and I'm willing to do something I've never done before? Because when I close my eyes and think about my future and think about where I want to spend my days and who I want to spend it with and what I want to be doing and how I want to look when I look in the mirror and the friends that I want to surround myself with, what does your life look like? And could Beachbody be the catalyst to help create that for you? And close your eyes in great detail. I want you to visualize where you want to be. And then say to yourself, am I ready to take that leap of faith? Am I ready to make the investment, to do the work, to see the possibilities? And I promise you that if you lean into this community, if you follow our lead, you literally can change your life and change your future and your family and those around you if you just go all in. So we would love to have you as a part of our amazing community, as a part of our team. We would love to welcome you guys and see your faces on our next call. So if you have any questions, reach out to the person that invited you here. If you are ready to get enrolled and be one of the new mentees that we are accepting, go ahead and let us know ASAP, and we hope to see you guys soon and at future events with all of us. So thanks for your time today, guys, and have a great day.
Thanks, guys.
Bye, everybody.